Hello and welcome to another episode of SmartFox TV.
Inauguration only has a few items that are written as an expectation for our democracy when it comes to the changing of the guards. Mostly, the inauguration is built on traditions that have stayed the course or have changed briefly through the years. Top hats, for example, was a traditional headpiece worn at the inauguration for the incoming president. Dwight Eisenhower was the one to stop that tradition until John F. Kennedy brought it back for one last go-round before the top hat tradition was put away for a new era. Here we are again at the 59th inauguration and the swearing in of the 46th president, and through the unique setting of our soon-to-be history, we kept many traditions, lost a few, as well, and continued on the aspect that is still a somewhat newer tradition for the inauguration ceremony, and that is the inclusion of literature with the reading of an original poem from a poet. Only 4 presidents have had poets read at their inauguration, John F. Kennedy being the first in 1961 when he had Robert Frost take the podium to read The Gift outright. Frost recited the poem from memory when he was unable to read the text of the poem he had written for the inauguration. Bill Clinton in 1993 had Maya Angelou recite On the Pulse of Morning at his first inauguration, and her powerful recitation went on to win a Grammy Award. Miller Williams read of History and Hope in 1997 for Bill Clinton. Barack Obama in 2009 had Elizabeth Alexander read Praise Song for the Day, and in 2013, Richard Blanco read One Today. Most recently, Joseph R. Biden in 2021 had Amanda Gorman, the youngest inaugural poet, write and read The Hill We Climb. Gorman made history at the age of 22 and had this to say about the aspect of her journey to poetry. She said, "I had a speech impediment, and so I couldn't use my voice. I would use author's words. It was my godsend and lifeline for me." She said that poetry and spoken words became her own type of pathology. Gorman also said that she battled her speech impediment all the way into college. She graduated from Harvard in 2020. Poetry is a weapon. It is an instrument of social change, and poetry is one of the most political arts out there because it demands that you rupture and destabilize the language in which you're working with. In an interview with the New York Times, Ms. Gorman had said, "Now more than ever, the United States needs an inaugural poem." Poetry is typically the touchstone that we go back to when we have to remind ourselves of the history that we stand on and the future that we stand for. So how does poetry capture our feelings, attitudes in a way that traditional speeches or prose do not? Think about your own writing. Why not try your hand at writing a poem and reply to Gorman's The Hill We Climb? Choose a line from the poem that inspired you. The link will be in the description. And if you would like to send your poems to our email for SmartFox TV, your poem might be read in one of our next segments. When power corrupts, poetry cleanses. And when power leads man towards his arrogance, poetry reminds him of his limitations. When power narrows the areas of man's concern, poetry reminds him of the richness and diversity of his existence.
Welcome back to Strange But True Facts. It took 1 month for Rubric, the Rubik's Cube creator, to solve his own invention. Today, some of the fastest cube solvers finish in less than 4 seconds. Love them or hate them, Peep's marshmallow candies used to be made by hand and had wings before they were taken off in 1955 to streamline the process. It used to take about 27 hours to make, mostly because the marshmallow took a long time to cool down. Today, it only takes 6 minutes to make 1 Peep with millions made daily in all colors, shapes, and sizes. Stick around for more.
Hey everyone, Kim here, and thanks for joining me for the current news. Starting today, the McDonald's food chain is going to have Throwback Thursdays. What does this mean? If you have your favorites like cheeseburgers, shakes, and fries, you're going to be looking at a way lesser price than what we usually pay today. So you can find out more information on their website, but starting today, on the 21st, cheeseburgers are going to be 25 cents. And on the 28th, shakes are going to be 25 cents. And on February 4th, apple pies are going to be 20 cents. Talk about awesome.
Back to strange but true facts. There is a McDonald's restaurant in every continent except Antarctica. Speaking of McDonald's, the smallest McDonald's is in Sweden. It's called the McHive, and it's actually a fully functional beehive for bees. And speaking of Sweden, many people there have gotten microchips implanted into their hands. The microchip holds their personal information and makes traveling and paying for things much easier and faster. Thanks again for joining
Watching
us.
SmartFox TV. I'm Chris Yates.
I'm Kim.
I'm Sally.
I'm Tracy.
Until next time, stay
Stay
foxy.
foxy.